British monarchy ended 2023 on something of a high. There's no two ways about it. That wonderful documentary all about the coronation with His Majesty the King, King Charles III, the behind the scenes with Queen Camilla, and of course the brilliant Royal Princess Anne. You couldn't have wished for a better ending, of course, to a royal year. It's funny, isn't it, how a few days into 2024 and all that good work for that particular year seemingly now is being wiped away, all thanks to the latest royal drama. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Yes, nice to have your company. I love this red telephone box. I know many people know that we often film at this particular site. Non-working now, but I mean, I was surprised what telephone boxes do work. When was the last time you used one as well? Public telephones, yeah, it's debate, isn't it, really? Who does, And do you ever find any that are working? That's more important, isn't it, Now, it's a big sort of royal drama currently engulfing the royal family, all regarding, of course, the former royal known as His Royal Highness the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, and the battle rages on. Now, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people don't understand the battle regarding Royal Lodge. Let me just explain this. They reported Prince Andrew to the British Metropolitan Police. It means nothing. It's just a headline. But certain individual channels decided to book this guy basically to say nothing. He has no relation to the story. You and I could go in and say this claim. It's up to the British Metropolitan Police if you are in line with the story, whether they would investigate or not. So again, it's just peacocking from a man that wants to be on television. No two ways about it. He's the lunatic that's always standing around with "Not My King" placards at events. You get the picture. But now the bigger story really is this, because obviously certain people are suggesting that His Royal Highness, His Majesty the King, should really do something to address the Andrew problem. Now, they've tried, as you know, last year, talking about Royal Lodge. Why can't he be removed from Royal Lodge? Well, it's quite simple, you see. It was bequeathed to him and part of the deal from the late Queen Mother's will. Now, the only way round this, and this is important to understand this, the only way round this is if His Royal Highness Prince Andrew cannot keep up the payments, which allegedly are around about 3 million a year, not just on the building, but the fabric and all that sort of stuff, security, etc. That would be the removal if the building was to get into disrepair. Now, the bottom line also is that people are suggesting he wouldn't have this type of money. So is that the reason why Sarah's out and about trying to make a lot of money? Perhaps that could be the key factor. But you see, the option was for him to move into, the place vacated, of course, by Harry and Meghan, Frogmore Cottage. But apparently he would feel that this is something of a demotion. And according to a very well-placed source, apparently would prefer to live off-site in a private house once again, i.e. somewhere like Sunningdale, which he bought in the 80s with his then wife, Sarah Ferguson. So you can understand the dilemma. While people are saying, oh, boot him out and he shouldn't be in royal life, well, that's the prerogative of His Majesty the King. He doesn't want to be too harsh, of course, because at the heart of this, these are unfounded allegations. Everybody's rushing to condemn, but let's not forget these are unfounded allegations at this point, and neither the FBI or the British Metropolitan Police have come forward with an arrest warrant. So the story, which everybody's going on about very excitedly, really bases us down to public opinion. Should His Majesty the King ask, request, or indeed just remove Prince Andrew from Royal Lodge? Well, he can't, unless, of course, dilapidation and failure to maintain the property kick in on the Crown Estate. That is the story. That's where it's at. So for all the sensationalism, obviously, I like to give you the facts and first. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.